another episode of From the Crib podcast, joined by your boy Philly Cash, K, and E. Today we're going to talk about what we consider overreacting and what we consider justifiable behavior. So we're going to discuss a little bit about the Stephon Diggs drama with the Bolt and the Patriots. We're going to talk about the latest strike that's going on in the tech industry, and then we also want to talk about the drop of Lil Wayne's album, The Carter Six. So how y'all fellas doing today?
We good, man.
Good. How about you?
You know, I'm good. I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
It's good to be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So let's start with music today. So, like I just mentioned, on June 6th, the highly anticipated Carter 6 is dropping. It's said to have features in collaboration with MGK, Wyclef Jean, Billie Eilish, uh, Miley Cyrus, and Bono. So, what's y'all thoughts on the Carter 6
I mean, first of
coming
all,
out?
I wouldn't say it's highly anticipated because I didn't even know it was coming out, and I don't. None of those features really excite me. Honestly, I am. I am going to listen to it just because of Wayne, but it'll be interesting because it's been a while since I had like a really anticipated somebody dropping the album. And I don't think I would unless it was like Jay Z or maybe Jadakiss for me. So I'll listen to it, but it's not like something I've been waiting for, like GTA 6 or nothing like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I ain't gonna put it on that level. What you think, E?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have have that old feel back of somebody dropping the album and setting the date and actually releasing like we know artists to release. Um, I'm excited. I've always been a Lil Wayne fan. I feel like the last couple of years he been dropping your classic Lil Wayne verses. If you heard like any of his last features, he's way more. He just back to the old Wayne. It's not he not singing, he not slurring his words. He don't got heavy auto tune. I feel like we gonna get that bar Wayne.
Yeah, and I'm interested to hear just because that feature list don't sound like I'm about to drop a hip hop album.
That's yeah, and that's what kind of made me nervous about it. Like, is he going to try to do some new wave type album that normally we wouldn't hear from Wayne? So we'll see.
Right, this could be him
Yeah.
testing the waters. So with that said, like he this is I think this is probably going to be his 15th studio album. He had 29 mixtapes, and he seemed to me to be one of those artists that stood the test of time. And when we talk about hip hop, we often only kind of talk about the present day of like those type of artists, and you don't see a lot of hip hop artists last as long as Lil Wayne, and he kind of, I would say, our only kind of like long lasting rap rock star type hip hop artist in a sense, just to compare it a little bit. So would this make Lil Wayne the greatest, like best hip hop artist of all time?
No, absolutely not.
Nah.
Say that
Do
again.
you think it's an argument there?
I mean, it depends. Like, it's all dependent on like if Wayne is your favorite rapper, then yeah, you're gonna say that. But like Wayne, I always been a Wayne fan, but he's never been my favorite rapper. So it's like it's hard to put him as the top of all time. I mean, it's easy to put him in the top 10, but as the top, I will reserve that for Jay Z.
Mm,
Ah,
I don't know.
what you think, E?
Nah, I can give him. I can give him. I can give him. He has a debate for the top spot over Jay Z. I feel like because first of all, he was a child rapper. Yeah, people forget. People forget that he started at 13, 12 years old and now he's what, almost 50, almost like late 40s, still dropping albums, and he's been consistent for what, 3 decades, with consistent music, and he stayed. He, as he aged, he still kept his finger on the younger and the youth. Um, and he birthed a whole new generation of rappers. I can't say the same for Jay Z. Jay Z, yeah, he's consistent. He dropped his first album at 26 or something like that. He had his hits and whatever, but after he kind of aged, he kind of went to the abyss and started becoming more of a business mogul, being a more of an icon, and started helping. He started being a more philanthropist and stuff like that. But as far as the music side, and when you want to say rapper, Lil Wayne stayed dedicated to the craft for 3 decades straight and birthed a whole new generation of rappers that either dress like him, look like him, and rejuvenated the South. I felt like you gotta give him a number one spot, and you can't really put nobody above him. You could put your Tupacs and your Biggies over him just because they just like iconic figures. But as far as releasing the music and being consistent for 3 decades with music, nothing outside of music, and then reinventing himself throughout those times. Like, he had rock, he had hip hop, he had country, he had multiple things, and he probably did more features than anybody and put people on. I can't say Jay-Z put people on. Lil Wayne put Nicki Minaj on, was one of the best rappers, female rappers for the last 10 years. Then he put Drake on, which is debatable if he's the best selling hip hop artist of all time. Outdoing MJ, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the lineage he had and the impact he had, he gotta put him in on number one spot.
I see. Like I
Oh,
said before, I think it comes down to if you're a fan of them. So like a lot of people, and this might be a controversial take, but I think it depends on like generation. So like a lot of people say Biggie and Tupac is like some of the best. They're not in my top five, but that's just because that's not somebody I personally listened to like that when I was, first listening to rap. So I guess it's like I said, it's debatable on like who you grew up listening to for the most part. Now
Yeah.
it's undeniable like the impact he had on the game. But like when we talking about the top, like when I think about like I don't know if I'm thinking of like overall impact. I'm thinking about like the who make the best music to me of all time. Now, if you taking other things into account, like he was saying, it's like as far as like putting other people on and having longevity and all of that, then that's a different conversation. But I'm just thinking of the angle of like who made the best music over their career. As far as like if I had to sit down and put together like a 35 track list, um, who would I enjoy listening to more out of all of my favorite rappers? And I don't think Wayne would be the number one for me.
Oh, so it's a personal. I'm just talking about tailor to take. Like, you put them resume on resume on the music side. Lil Wayne wins that hands down.
I mean, but what are you using to judge that?
Uh,
number
all three phases of the game: impact, music, music output, and
lyrical.
lyrically, and the people that he put on. If you want to put any type of sanctions on it, I feel like Lil Wayne has a larger wingspan. He heavier. He got more wins.
I don't know if you're giving that argument, then you can say Snoop Dogg is up there. And I don't think nobody would say Snoop Dogg is one of the best rappers ever. I think,
He ain't been
but
consistent with the music though.
that's what I'm saying. Like Wayne wasn't consistent with the music for a while. So I'm just saying. I mean, and it's the same for Jay Z. So I'm just thinking like their overall catalog, like who I would rather listen to. Um, like I said, and I listen to Wayne. I like Wayne, but I wouldn't put him as my favorite. Like again, another controversial take. Back in, and I think another point is, I think it kind of evolves. Like like 15 years ago, I would have had Wayne higher on my list than he is now. Like right now, I probably wouldn't even normally listen to a lot of Wayne. Like I probably rather listen to Rick Ross than Wayne right now. So it's like it just depends. Like your taste in music changes over time, and like again, like I said, 10 years ago, I might have had him in my top five or something like that. But I don't know. It just changed when your taste in music changes.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that,
so
and I agree with E. If you want to put categories on it, Lil Wayne is at least in top three in the
gotta be.
categories, if not one. You know what I'm saying? And he had like a lot of hit singles. He had a lot of features where he pretty much made the song. Like even though, and I get what you're saying, Kay. Like nowadays, you don't hear a lot of Wayne circulating, but you'll know if a Millie came on. You'll know if even I even still listen to his song "Single" or "How to Love." Like if you put some of those songs on, it's just gonna spark a memory and be like, all right, I remember every
Yeah,
bar
for
for
sure.
bar,
I mean,
lyric for lyric.
yeah, it's for
Like
sure.
he
But
just got those type of songs,
yeah,
timeless
but
pieces.
let me put y'all on the spot, and I'm gonna answer this question too. On the spot right now, top five rappers. If you and this is the way I'm gonna preface this. Let's say you were going on a trip, right? You're going on a trip. You're gonna be gone for a month. On this trip, if you like, you got long flights and you got long, downtime, and you can create a playlist, but that playlist can only have five rappers on it. And we ain't talking about who they put on. We ain't talking about the longevity in the game. We talk about the music. So you can have these five artists on this playlist. And this rappers. I'm just talking rappers right now. These five
Hmm.
rappers on the playlist. Who you putting on there?
Oh,
Go
I
ahead,
got my
Phil. I'm
list.
gonna let Phil go first.
All right,
You said
this might
rappers.
be a
Yep, rappers.
rappers. This might be controversial, but I'm putting Drake on there. I'm putting Wayne on there. I'm putting Kanye on there. I'm putting Jay-Z on there. Dang, that last one is gonna be tough. I might have to go Rick Ross.
Let me go before you
Might
go,
have,
Ella, because I'm curious to see what Ella's gonna say. But I'm gonna go. So one, Jada Kiss. Two, Jay Z. This is not in order. I'm just saying. Two, Jay Z. Three, Drake. Four, Rick Ross. Number five, 50 Cent.
what
Mm,
the?
You don't
mm.
remember. You don't remember. You gotta think when 50 was popping off is when I was just getting out of high school.
Yeah,
So you will remember what that was like. Like he had the game definitely on a chokehold for like 3 or 4 years straight.
straight up.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He
that's
did.
that's true. No, I remember. Get Rich or Die Trying was something crazy. Like you can't, and that's the thing. That's what I'm like. That's what I'm measuring stuff off of moments. Like that's what makes the rapper for me the moments. Like you can have the best, couple, songs, whatever that kind of rock during the summer, but some of these rappers be having moments. Like 50 Cent had a moment where he was the best rapper in the game. He had people wearing, like, I'm talking about that type of impact, wearing tank tops that wasn't even tank tops, like,
Mm-hmm.
and do rags with the hat on. Like, I'm talking about
He
people who
he
actually
had the G
changed the
Unit
fashion.
Reeboks.
I had the G, I had a pair of those. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had the G Unit tank tops. I remember you wear them joints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With no
Yeah, nah,
no
them those
muscles.
Yo ain't deny it. Yo, sub.
I did. No,
Say
but
now,
he would be top 10 before Ellis go. He would be top 10 because I like New York rappers, like even like Dipset and all of. I remember growing up listening to them too.
I mean, they had a moment. Cam and
yeah.
UL
They
Santana,
was
like
about to, they
they
was
had a
about to
moment.
be on mine. Yo, like that's
Yo, yeah, like it's definitely rap.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know what's crazy is like some of those like my favorite. I know my favorite rapper don't have much commercial success, and I wouldn't even say he had a moment in the game. But I think Jadakiss lyrically and like the voice, he like the voice of New York to me. So like the lyrics and like the way he delivered his music, he I think he the best. I don't think he has the best people behind him. I don't think he got the best producers. I don't think he got the best beat selection. But as far as like, if I want to sit down and listen to some slick shit, that's what I want to listen to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. That's big facts.
Because even that
So,
album
yeah.
he did with Fabulous was dope. But go ahead, E.
Yeah.
Nah, I was just kind of because I'm picking like some people off because I'm basing it off the question he asked. Like we was going somewhere and you only get 5 rappers, so you got to be like, I can't put it like even though Jadakiss is one of the rappers I would listen to. When you talking about the extent of the time that I have, I'm looking for people that gave me moments where I can listen to the whole album and remember where I was or remember what year I was in or what was going on during that time when that artist was popping. So if I was to pick 5 artists, I'm picking those type of artists that had moments, right? So I'm gonna start off. I gotta say 50 Cent because 50 Cent was one of the rappers that made me think about storyline. He was like, all right, so what's your storyline of? It was bigger than the music with him. It was just his story. So he was like one of the last artists where you really only cared about his music because of what he went through. Like you knew his real life story before you heard his music, and then when you heard his music, it connected, and you like, oh, this shit hard. And then the music came in, and then the movie came in, and it's like, oh, this nigga is like a package deal, bro. Like how you not understand the story of 50 Cent?
Yeah, let me jump in real quick. So what's interesting about that is we see all of these. Like I know me personally, I know a bunch of these rappers that end up dying that I didn't know before they died, but like after they
Right.
died, they like popular.
Right.
That's like what happened to 50 Cent, except he didn't die.
Exactly.
So it was like he had that story around him, like somebody really tried to take this man out, and
Right.
he's still here and he's still making music. So I think like that was like one of the big pushes of why he blew up like that. Of course, like the music was good, but the story behind it, and then you
Was
like
crazy.
like E was saying, then the movie came out, and then he signed with Eminem, like which was like one of the best in the game at the time. So it was like, yeah, it was like a perfect storm. I saw an interview on Breakfast Club where Jay-Z was talking about all his rappers, like when he had Beanie Siegel and all those Philly dudes, and he was in the studio. It was like, hey, y'all better start dropping all the music y'all can right now because 50 Cent about to drop. So like even Jay-Z knew it was about to come out, and he knew
Yep.
it was about to happen.
No, facts. Big facts. And then I remember that time. I remember I had bought, and then you gotta say 50 Cent because then you get Genuine it right behind that with his second album when he put his team on, and you gotta salute that. You feel me? And then you get Lloyd Banks out of that, you get Tony Ayo out of that, you get Young Buck out of that. So you gotta think
Game
about
out of that.
you get you know what I'm saying? You get the game out of that. So it's that storyline goes crazy, right? So then you gotta throw in, for me personally, this is a tough one. It's like because I wanna say Mace.
Oh, you know what?
I wanna say
I ain't
Mace.
gonna lie to you. Mace was probably the first rapper that I was listening to like that. Cause that's like
Yeah.
middle school years. Definitely
I remember.
had a chokehold on the cane for real.
Mm-hmm.
Mace,
Yeah.
the only reason Mace is not on my top list is like he left for a long time and stopped making music. But for sure, yeah, in early 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
but
say
I'm with that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He got the feel good music, and I learned from Mace is that like you don't have to be
A gangster.
a gangster to make good music, bro. Like he was lyrically clever, but he made it bop music, and then he made slow songs and didn't have to sing on them. And then when he did sing on them, he made light of his singing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To make the song even better. So it's like his creativity, his wordplay, and his frequency when he rapped was something that was memorable for me and impactful to the game, because what makes you get Cameron, and that's why I say makes, because you embody that whole time. Cause you get, that's the Jadakiss era, that's the Cameron era, that's the, you know what I'm saying, that embodies that whole time. That's that Bad Boy era
Right,
when
Lil'
when
Kim.
everything was Bad Boy.
Yup, Lil Kim.
Mariah Carey. So you getting all these artists when Jacket Edge and 112.
Yeah.
So you getting those types of features in that he embodied a whole decade or a whole time in music where Bad Boy had the game on lock, and he the one who kind of saved Bad Boy when it was the biggest. He was the one after Biggie. You know, he carried the torch after Biggie. So he had embodied that new generation of Bad Boy. So that's why I'll put him, because you get other features from him that was monumental songs as well. So I had to go 50 Cent, then I had to go Mace. And then after that, I got to put Wayne, right? You got to put Wayne, because we already just talked about what Wayne did. And from his storyline all the way up through the game to now, you got to kind of applaud that. And he, like I said, he birthed the generation that we listen to today. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a lot of rappers like Jay-Z. We got a lot of rappers like Wayne. He introduced boom, 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 right?
So what does that say though?
That, what you mean?
I mean, what does that say? Is it that Jay-Z style is hard to duplicate, or is it
No.
easy to rap like Wayne?
I don't know. I feel like Wayne.
I don't think they rap like Wayne.
Wayne got lyrics, like the lyrics on a lot. Like his lyricism was crazy. Like he would make you think about. He will make you go look up stuff to figure out what the hell he talking about sometimes.
You can hear
Now,
the song four times and hear something different.
Yeah.
Right, you can hear it, and he got like what they call them, triple entendres, double meanings, all types of stuff in his lyrics. Now, where I would say like Jay-Z, where I agree, that's why he on my playlist, is I like his storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah,
You know,
I
his
think
storytelling is on point.
I think it should be like two different words, because it's like I feel different about, like, I think Lil Wayne is lyrical, but then like rappers like Jadakiss, Wayne, I mean rappers like Jadakiss, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Jeezy, they just say slick shit. It ain't, I don't know if it's considered the
Yeah, their
same.
delivery is
Yeah,
is like that.
just be slick and shit, and it's like, and then like I said, I guess it all would be considered lyrical, but they got like different styles. Like definitely Wayne will say some shit that will make you like, man, what the fuck that mean? And you go back and hear it again, you're like, oh shit, like,
Right.
so yeah, I definitely get that. And then again, it's like those different moods that you in, like we were talking about earlier in a couple episodes ago, like that mood. I guess that's what they call it, mood playlist or whatever.
Right.
Like sometimes you don't want to be in that mood where you gotta listen carefully to figure out what they saying. That's why, like, if you listen to
Right.
Jay-Z or you listen to like the person who got like the most simplest shit to be a slick is
2
Jeezy.
Chainz. Oh, other 2 Chainz was.
Well, yeah, it's
No, 2 Chainz, but growing up, it was probably Jeezy
yeah.
with that residue. It was iPod White.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this little simple shit, but this shit be sick.
Once upon a time, I used to grind all night with that residue. It was iPod White. That was hard.
Yeah. But then you gotta think about 2 Chainz, because 2 Chainz was even simpler. I just heard a song on the radio today talking about something. It's like, I'm so high, me and God dapping. Like he say something like, I Captain. Like he say some shit like that. But yeah, similar to that. So yeah, so back to what I was saying, Lil Wayne,
So you
and
got,
then
so far you got Mace,
Mace,
50 Cent,
50 Cent,
Wayne.
Wayne.
All right.
Then I gotta
Who you
go.
last?
This might be controversial, but you'll get it when I say it. Gucci Mane.
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
I don't know
yo,
why I didn't say Gucci.
yo,
Man.
if you can't put Gucci Man on there, bro, like Gucci Man is like my whole high school, bro. So that's why I gotta put Gucci.
That's why I say era, because I never listened to Gucci.
See what I'm saying? Phil, you know, when we was on,
Yeah, Gucci Man was like that, and you know my senior year was Boosie.
that's what I'm saying. That's that lineage of sound.
Like these are honored. Like these are, and it's tough because these are like my top. You said top 5, so like Gucci Man and Boosie, they definitely like in there.
What? Gucci was the gateway for us to find Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Once you heard some Gucci, you going to kind of stumble across Boosie. Then Boosie caught wildfire, but Gucci had more music. You know what I'm saying? And then again, the people that he put on. You know what I'm saying? You got the Migos. You got everybody you hear from the South right now is all Gucci Man, bro. And then it would stop me from saying the Migos because Migos had a time too, but that's cheating because 3 rappers. But you know the Migos had a time. You feel me? But whatever. But Gucci, I say Gucci because he was the pioneer of the Young Thugs and the Migos.
But look, you listening to this on a trip though.
But I'm saying. But if you get Gucci, you getting these artists. He's on songs with all these artists. And all these artists is on songs with him. So if I get Gucci, I can hear the Migos. I can hear Young Thug. I can hear Gunna on all
right,
these
hold on, but
records.
look, when you ask this question, K, is all y'all lists remaining the same even without the features, with all their catalog singles?
Yes.
No.
It's remaining the same. All right, I just wanted to clarify.
Gucci and taking an handcuff.
Features
What?
into account, honestly.
No, I wasn't taking features, but you know Gucci songs by himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I ain't saying Gucci like needed the features or nothing like that. I'm just saying y'all listen because in consideration of all them single, like their individual work.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then lastly, you gotta put Drake in there, cause then like all the rappers that I said, Drake got a little bit of everything. So if I'm on a trip that long, you got Drake rapping, you got Drake singing, you got Drake rapping. So you gotta throw Drake on there because he's just gonna be a vibe, just period, right? So like those are gonna be my top 5: Mace, 50, Drake, Wayne, Gucci.
I think Drake is what Mace would have been if he would have kept rapping.
Possibly.
I don't
But
know. I don't know if he had that singing on him.
But the thing about Mace is when he was dropping, people was physically going out and buying his album, which makes his impact a little bit stronger and his time a little bit impactful because
It's a different game.
Different game, bro. Different game.
So with that said, we talking about overreaction or justified. So is it justified or overreaction if we consider Wayne the greatest hip hop artist of all time?
You already know. I think it's overreaction.
Final words. He said K said overreaction. What you say, Ellis?
It's
It
not
could be
overreaction.
justified. I think it could be
It's
justified.
it's justified.
I think it's justified too.
Definitely justified.
All right. We get into our next topic. We're going to swing into sports. So, I know you guys been seeing the viral video of Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs yacht video. He facing a lot of backlash and scrutiny because he was just on a yacht party with women and passing around an unknown substance. Now, they a lot of media speculating that the Patriots are considering parting ways with Diggs. Do you think this is justified or overreaction?
I mean, it's hard. Like, do they know what the substance is, or is it like just speculation at this point?
It's just speculation, but it's not a good look. The reason why I don't think it's more the drug part, I think it's like the aura that's around the organization right now. Because they just fired their head coach. You bringing in new people, and they got the Patriot way. they trying
Turn
to
your mic up
really
a little
turn
bit, K.
they
My bad. Turn your
they
mic up a
trying
little
to
bit, K.
You can't hear me?
yeah,
The
you sound a
chat,
little low.
some of the chat saying you low.
So it's not more so that they speculate in the substance. It's more so all the growth that's going on around the organization, and you want to bring in the veteran receiver to kind of shape it, especially him going into his 10th season or 11th season actually. So it's like, is this the type of, especially if you're a new head coach, is this a drama or something that you want to deal with? You know,
I,
your
I
first year
again, I
taking
think it's an
over.
overreaction. For one, they legally is not going to be able to get out of that contract out over this video.
No,
So
he got 26 guaranteed.
yeah, so I don't. I highly doubt that. I mean, from what I heard, there's no criminal charges being brought up. I think it's just what's in the news right now, and 2 weeks from now, we're not even going to be talking about it. So I think it's just something that's in the news. It was a unfortunate situation. I think he might have more issues on with him and Cardi than he is going to have with the Patriots.
I agree. I gotta agree with that. I feel like he had a couple seasons where he ain't been showing him as the Stephon Diggs doing when he was Vikings throwing his helmet into the crowd and getting them to the next playoff game. It's been a while since we've seen that Stephon Diggs. The last bit of Stephon Diggs we've seen is him not getting along with Josh Allen, and having speculations about their relationship. So it's all been, I would say, downhill since the Bills. This is his third team in 4 years. Not a good look. I feel like he's 30. He did kind of. I think this will be his last big contract. So I think
big contract. That's the only reason he ended up in New England because that's not his type of team. I can tell.
no, it's not his. It's not his. It's not his brand. It's like equivalent to AB going there. He going to do him, and they're going to tolerate it until they can replace you, just like any other player.
Yeah. And I just think it's an interesting time for something like that, something like this to happen. So that's why I'm like, I'm on the fence with if they were to part ways, this is justified or if it's an overreaction because just because he 31, he considered the veteran in the organization, and I just think like just how society has been going from the outside looking in, especially with all the allegations happening around and swirling around the athletes when it comes to drugs, especially when it comes to women. I don't think him putting himself in that light is the best because you always see, no matter how much they paid him contractually, let's say if a girl said he did something to him, or let's say the girl said the drug did something to him, or let's say he get into domestic violence because of Cardi B. It's nothing that money is going to do to save him at that point.
I think
So it's kind of like you got if you consider
can
the
save
veteran
him.
receiver. I don't see. I kind of view a lot of stuff from the lens of it's because I'm a homer of how the Ravens would deal with a situation like this. Is this like something? A
You know how
Raven,
the
it's not.
Ravens
If we
deal with it?
watched it, we wouldn't be like Raven. This not Raven behavior. Right now, we got all our starters in OTAs. We got all our players wanting to play. If we have one of our players, if Lamar Jackson was on that boat, or let's not even say Lamar Jackson, let's say if a Bateman or one of our key receivers was on that boat, I wouldn't feel happy as an organization, or I wouldn't be excited as a fan for a guy to play for us. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
That's
but
that's just from my lens.
as the Patriots, you realize how hypocritical it would be if they were to do something. You just look at their owner and the type of shenanigans he got going on. Look at their former head coach, the type of shenanigans they had going on. So, of course, you don't want something like this in on the news or on the front page of the newspaper, but you got to realize how uh, normal these type of activities are for these players and the coaches, the owner. They've been on these type of boats. They've been in these type of situations. I mean, of course, it's unfortunate that it got recorded
Recorded,
in the
yeah.
news, but I think they understand what they're going to do is keep it quiet. Say, say the right things to the price. We're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to investigate it. We're going to do this. Blah 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 blah. And 2 3 weeks from now, they going to be on to camp, and nobody's going to be talking about it.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I'm.
I think it's smart.
Oh, go ahead.
I think it's smart on Stephon Diggs' side. I don't think it's a mistake that he's in the news now in his last years of his of his NFL career. I don't see anything that doesn't fit his brand as what he's doing now. He want to be the fashion icon. He want to be culturally sound. He with Cardi B. He doing drugs on the boat. He's a star, cocky receiver. It's given like I'm setting myself up for post football. Now he's a culture. Now he's being talked about who he's with. He's dating all the superstars. He's a fashion icon. He's a personality now. Now he's setting himself up for 10, 20 years in the future. He already made his money on the front end and in the back end. He can be a bad boy in a goody two shoes organization, which he then stands out. Now he's just marketing his brand. If you follow him on his Instagram page, he doing everything. Well, he's showing his workouts and how he's showing all that. But then the rest of his page is fashion. How lit he is. You feel me? It's perfect marketing for his post career. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't really care about what the NFL thinks no more because we had the kneeling situation. We have massages. We have drugs. We have concussions. We have Brett Favre. So it's like, who gives a fuck of what these players doing, man? It's like we in a generation of where these players are only looking out for themselves. They're not caring about what these teams trying to do. Talent. You can have talent until your talent is no longer elite. Once your talent is no longer elite, then you gotta start kind of pivoting out of that and start showing who you really is, and then that kind of set him up for you see Van Noy. He's on commentating. And he's better than motherfuckers is there. So like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to be in TV after he's done. So you start seeing people kind of transitioning out.
They starting to position themselves.
Position themselves.
Yeah, position themselves while they playing.
Stephon Diggs wasn't in that in any of this in the first 8 years of his career. You think it's a mistake that he's all of a sudden on boats with Cardi B? He could have been doing that, but he's choosing now when he's 30, when he got to think about retirement. Retirement at 30 is unheard of with the common person. So it makes sense.
So what I'm hearing from all of you, what I'm hearing from both of y'all is overreaction.
Overreaction.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I just don't want bro to get suspended.
I'm on my shit tonight.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna ask y'all another question stemming off of that. Then, so like, what you saying is, I mean, do you think it should be some level of protection or censorship? Because even when you talk, like, even when I watch some of the podcasts with some of the older like basketball athletes and everything like that, they was like, man, I'm glad I didn't grow up in the social media era. Do you think it's a level of like protection and security that athletes should put on themselves when they having these type of events just to avoid the rhetoric? Or you think it was kind of like it don't matter, like you think it's all for positional gain?
When you all having fun, you ain't thinking about who recording you or who around you. Just in the moment having fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like again, it is one thing to try to make sure you're in the right scenarios, but you got to think if you're on a boat with a bunch of millionaires, I'm sure you think you were good people. So you don't think somebody's going to record it and send it to the media, but I mean, it's just part of what happens. So,
yeah. But you see people talking about hanging out with celebrities all the time, especially some like people that's not like, I don't want to say, like not as popular or whatnot, and some of them have systems where they collect phones and do things of that nature, so, or secure phones before they start partying and stuff like that. So it's been done.
It both has its perks at some point, They have its perks. Like they could say, "Oh, well, back in our day, we didn't have phones to record what we did," but then that's what their money maker is now. And then for the now players, they're more popular when they doing these types of things. Like it's no bad thing is bad publicity, right? You know what I'm saying? You can capitalize off of anything, good or bad, right? So like these older players didn't have it. So now their claim to fame is telling these stories. Like you'll see that they're only coming to speak. Older players are only coming to speak about their experiences because no one's seen it. So it's way more interesting to speak about things that no one's seen. So that's where the value lies. So without that, that's the only value they have about talking about what they did that no one's seen. These stories that nobody knew about. Oh, let me get you get on, come on the show and tell your story about XYZ, and then it become the speaking heads that we love today, like AKA Shannon Sharp. We never heard these Shannon Sharp stories. We never heard Shannon Sharp speak until now. Oh, so it's like now he's and then you see Steve. Look at all these athletes that's on TV now that didn't have cameras back in the day.
Because I just go back to like I wonder how it would have been in the '90s had like because you always hear the stories about Michael Jordan gambling to 3-4 o'clock in the morning and then come and put 50 up on somebody. I just wonder how the world would have reacted if like somebody was like visually recording him and you know they say he talked big trash at the table and like just seeing how media probably would have blew that up in the '90s had somebody like recorded him playing game and then like you know what I'm saying
it would have been a whole different world we living in, bro. I like Jordan less after Last Dance. So imagine
really
absolutely I don't like nothing about Michael Jordan after the Last Dance. Yeah, he was a
wow. What made you say that though?
I mean, just the way he carried himself, you know, didn't give really a fuck about his teammates. He was super cocky. All he cared about was winning, which is admirable, you know what I'm saying? But when you look past that, that's all he was about. The deals that he made, they didn't really care about the culture or his people. The gambling. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't put him in the light. The dislike or the way he treated some of his teammates. The Isaiah Thomas story that he didn't want him to be on the dream team and all the kind of things he was pulling behind the scenes and his not give a fuck about other people mentality. I like him less. I like the mystique of Jordan more than I like the actual person or the picture that's painted or he painted for himself. So I don't think that if the cameras would follow him around, I don't think we have the Jordan and the popularity that we have now. Like, that's why I think LeBron is better because he presented himself with the cameras and with the pressure and executed at the age of 17, 18 and still became what everybody thought he was going to be. So it's like,
and that's what I'm saying. And that's kind of why I feel. That's why I like how I like athletes operating in that space. And I get what you're saying about like people using social media and to position themselves post career. But I mean, I like players like LeBron. I like players like Lamar Jackson. People don't put themselves in those type of things because I feel like people look up to them people. You know, people. Like that's 8 years old and kids actually look up to these people. So I don't like when they on nonsense for real and then be like, oh yeah, I just want to be on. Because at the end of the day, I don't care what nobody say. If you have any type of influence, you should hold yourself to a certain standard and have a certain integrity about whatever. So I don't really agree. I don't like when people just put themselves in media just to be like, oh, I want to date people. I want to stir up the pot just to be known. Like even with like how like the antics of like Antonio Brown. And I loved his game, but sometimes his antics off the field made me like not like really gravitate towards his game like that. Like not to say he is a remarkable talent, but then it's like you want the best for the people. But he put himself in a space where I don't even like he'll get considered for the Hall of Fame, but people won't probably put him in there as soon as he should have been because of this type of stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I look at certain stuff different.
I
Yeah,
want to meet
and
AB.
I told y'all this before. This is a prime example of some people just need to play their sport and go off and be by themselves and don't be in the public eye. Like really like so I give you the example of Ray Lewis, right? Uh
Oh shit.
Extraordinary amount of his former teammates don't like him. And it's a reason that you don't see somebody like Ray Lewis in the media a lot. You don't see him because he really rubs people the wrong way off the field. And it's similar to like what Ellis was saying about the Jordan thing. Like some players like need that personality to be great on the field, but it doesn't translate to being a good person off the field. And I think like that's one of those scenarios. So like it's a rare gem when you see, and like those are the people that you see become multi-million billionaires are the people that's great on the court, but then can translate and be good off the court or off the field. Like I give you an example of somebody like Shaq or somebody like Charles Barkley, where they were great on the court, but then they have the personality and the structure as a human beings to actually be good people off the court. So like, and LeBron like is another one. So like everybody doesn't have that. So I mean that's why you see
But
certain players
you just made an interesting point though, Kay, because do you feel like those athletes that were named? Because it seems to me, and you made a good point. Like, all right, so you got your LeBrons, you got your Shaqs, right? These guys are like kind of freak of nature talents. Do you feel like because you got then you on the other side of it, you got players like a Ray Lewis or like a Michael Jordan, or even I hear teammates of Kobe Bryant didn't really, have a real off the court relationship because how hard he was. Do you feel like people adapt that mentality in order to be successful because they wasn't as athletically gifted as some of the people like a Shaq or a LeBron? Do you feel like they had to be that way to lock in and actually be that great? Because Ray Lewis wasn't really the most
yeah,
gifted
yeah.
athletically, but he worked hard. So do you feel like that personality goes into
I
the
mean
work ethic? And
it makes sense. Look at AB. Undersized, not the fastest, not the quickest, but he had that dog mentality. But again, that those lessons you learn on the field don't translate off the field. So I mean, it makes sense. So somebody like LeBron and Shaq, you said like this physically gifted, they can not have that mentality and still be great on the court. And a lot of people put down LeBron because he don't have that mentality. Because if he did have that mentality, then he would probably win an NBA championship every year he played in the league. But I mean,
right.
it's a give and take.
Yeah, it's a
I'd rather you be a better person.
yeah. And I think we're gonna get more of them now because like I think it made sense for the Jordan era, and like I said, influence is everything. Influence is a powerful thing, right? Because then you start thinking about. So I was watching the Golden Team or Team Golden on Netflix about the Redemption Team,
Hmm.
about the last with LeBron, KD, Steph Curry all on the U.S. team,
Oh yes, yeah.
and it was talking about how like the Dream Team was the catalyst in the image that people around the world saw as being basketball players, right? Being the best basketball players in the world. So the movie the documentary I seen last night was from our last USA team that we just saw. They're now it's like Marvel, bro. It's like the past now is they paying the price for the future, right? Because now they're playing all these teams that are now have all these NBA players on it. So now they have a tougher role because those people that seen the dream team is now trying to be them and they become them and now they playing against them. And now
Right.
it's harder for USA to be the best team in the world because now that influence around the world made better basketball players. So it's like they almost
Yeah, it's
fighting
crazy.
against. So now they fighting against Giannis. Now they fighting against
Wemby.
Wemby. Now they playing against all these players that's now in NBA because they
Luka
were
and,
Luka, Doncic, like all these people. Now every country have a chance to win because they were influenced by the dominance of the Dream Team, right? So when I say like it made sense for LeBron to be the catalyst for us having, or Chad Johnson to be the catalyst to have these players that have more personality, because it might not be all about shutting your teammates off and just practicing with nobody there, be the first one in, the last one to leave. What about me as a person? What about brand deals? What about, because all those legends that we know was like, man, I didn't have no friends, I didn't go out at night, and and but they're not on anything. It didn't serve them after.
Yeah,
their
but
career was over.
and that's a whole nother conversation too, because we talked about it last episode when we was talking about the impact of Olympic football, and being that NFL every year up in their international games, and the American culture, we not pushing it's not like fight or flight right now. The kids don't have that kind of like just because how times has changed. It's not people going to but like that back against the wall where they're going to say, I'm doing 250 sprints and I'm gonna work dumb hard to get where I need to get. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, the influence of the Dream Team started to balance out the competition across the world. And it was funny because I was watching It Is What It Is with Cam and Mace, and they was just talking about like the next face of the league and how, like, if we put a all-star team together with Americans versus the world might be putting up some numbers on us. Like, we might not have the firepower to compete with international all-stars anymore. And it's going to be interesting to see how the NFL might actually, like maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, you're already starting to see it with a lot of nationalities or international players playing in the NFL, and how that might kind of change the form of, we got the transfer portal. If I don't like it here, I could go here. So what if the NFL started drafting people from overseas in the next couple years? Like, you're going to be like, where the heck? Because I remember watching the draft growing up, and they'd be like, such and such, Malcolm Maslakovich from Greece. You'd be like, who the hell is that? And they'd be going in the top rounds in the NBA. So
I wonder, do they have,
right.
They don't have college football overseas, do they?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't doubt it, bro. I know they probably got they got professional amateur leagues or professional leagues over there.
Do they play football? That would be a good question. Like, do they play football in high school overseas?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It depends on that. It depends on that where they from. I know probably Canada, probably. But they big soccer, soccer, baseball. I know. Yeah, and then you got people that's big on hockey. Rugby is a huge thing in the UK.
Yeah,
and overseas over there. So
yeah, and now I'll end the conversation with this one. So you talking about like how the athletic people normally have a better personality off the field. Just look at the difference between Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady, like how they're perceived off the field. It's like night and day. But it's like you Tom Brady, you gotta devote all your time to getting better, to being the best in the field. Where Lamar, he don't. He just physically gifted like that, and he can. I'm not saying he doesn't work, but he doesn't have to devote his life and say forget his wife and divorce his wife because he don't want to stop working out and stop, being an NFL quarterback. It's his job, and he's good at it, and he don't really have to think much about it. And so it's like you'll see those like two different personality types really come out when they off the field.
And the last thing, the only thing that I feel like that the people that we talk about that ended up being like kind of like low key assholes when they to be great, I just think the talent is just getting better, and that's just a part of it. Because half these people wasn't even that talented. They had to do that. They had to work as hard as that and be great, right? When Lamar Jackson probably got out the bed and run a 4.3, 4.4 like it's nothing. He don't got to stretch nothing. I think the talent, the talent is so good. I don't even need to work that hard. I'm just that naturally nice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think the talent changes where I don't need to run a hill 1,500 times to beat the person in front of me. I'm just better than you. And sometimes it just really comes down to just you just being better. And you don't have to worry about sacrificing your personality because you're just better.
All right, so we at the last we at the last almost 10 minutes of the show. So we're gonna get into our last. Oh, actually, we're gonna briefly talk about tech. What's going on in the tech industry. And it's crazy because I feel like we foreshadow a lot in our episodes. So, fam, please look at some previous episodes, like, follow, and subscribe, and check out some of our takes on artificial intelligence. Because now, well, back in 2003, it started, or 2024. The SAG, which is the,
Screen Actors.
I put that. Yes, the Screen Actors Guild. They are doing a video game strike because it's an ongoing strike by video game voice actors over AI usage, having delayed titles like League of Legends and Destiny 2. So what we starting to see is some of the voice actors are going on strike because AI haven't been discussed in their contracts and actually using their likeness in video games, which is actually delaying the production of those games coming out. And it's funny because I was seeing a thread on social media that also showed GTA, people claiming that GTA was using characters that was actually them. Like, oh, that character was based on me. He looked just like me. And they was doing screenshots and all types of stuff. What you guys think about, what's your thoughts about this situation? And you think, what would be like, what's the way to resolve it? How can we resolve this?
Actors about to be out of job. Let's just put it like that. I mean, the last thing you want to do is strike when they already got your replacement that they don't have to pay. So I don't understand what's their leverage in this situation.
Don't sound like they got one.
So I mean, how I'm gonna answer that though? The leverage is, let's say, Kay, you're a voice actor for the main character on GTA. You did this character for the last
Zelda.
3. You are a voice actor for Zelda, and you did the last 3 Zeldas, and then your character's still in there. But they said, "Bro, we not paying you no more. We're gonna get AI to use your voice and start making the next 5 Zeldas, and you don't get no cut, even though you was the voice of these characters for the last 3 iterations of the game. I mean, 3 to 5 iterations of the game. You think that's fair?"
Yeah, it's fair. If I'm the quarterback, for the Baltimore Ravens for 5 years, and after 5 years they decide to go in a different direction,
That's not the same, Kay. Ain't the same.
What's the different about it?
You was a voice actor for this character on the video game for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 5 years, I'm using your same. It's still your voice, but you're not coming in the studio to act, and you're not receiving no residuals for your contribution to the game of being this main character. After you did the legwork, they pretty much going to use all your.
Did you get paid for the voiceovers that you did?
Yeah.
All right, then I don't understand what we're talking about here.
I don't know. I think they should deserve some type of compensation. Because even when I watch, like, all right, Kung Fu Panda. Let's go Kung Fu Panda, a donkey off a Shrek. We know Kung Fu Panda is Jack Black. We know Donkey off a Shrek is Eddie Murphy. Let's say Eddie Murphy is no longer with us or Jack Black. I think it would be messed up to continue to use AI and have those voices, their voices and likeness, and continue their movies.
That's different.
That's crazy. That's not different. It's no different.
They've been doing that, bro. And they just like, the lady who did Marge for The Simpsons died, and they found another voice actor that sounds just like
Yeah, exactly. Like,
right, but that's a voice actor. You taking opportunities away from people. I don't like that.
I mean, you ain't gotta like it, but that's what it's about. That's
AI, nigga.
That's what it's about to be. And like I said, striking ain't the answer. because they gonna be quicker to get rid of you now.
Yeah. I guess it's that's why they got a union, bro. They got to fight for their
They
positions
have a
because
union, and those unions have contracts. So if it's something in their contract that they violating, then that's a different. That's different. If they have something stated in their contract that they are the only person that can ever do this character while they're living, then all right, then you got something to talk about. But if there's nothing written down that's saying they're not allowed to do it, and obviously it's not because they're doing it, I don't know what legs they have to stand on in the matter. And like I was saying, I was saying in a couple episodes, I'm telling you, the people who, and I still encounter these people now that think AI is the devil and all of this. Like, all right, you better learn how to use it, or you're gonna be left behind, and you're gonna be left out a lot of opportunities. So
Yeah, it's just the new.
Hey,
it's the
man,
modern,
y'all
it's
boy-
the modern day play, bro.
hey, cold world out here. Cold world.
Nigga, you never seen a play.
So
before?
y'all think, all right, so so you feel like that them going on strike is just pretty much a lost cause. It's not even a overreaction or justified. It's just a lost cause.
I don't know what
I
leverage
don't
they have in the
see
matter,
that, yeah.
honestly. So I don't know what the strike is going to do. That's just like say for instance when they used to deliver newspapers, and they went from actual papers to you can just look it up on the website. And that's like the paper boy coming outside my house saying, I'm going on strike because you ain't buying physical newspapers no more. And you know what I'm gonna say? All right, stand your ass out there. You're gonna be standing out there.
Yep.
So like it ain't nothing really they can do in the matter. Again, like I said, unless there's something in their contract that says they violated some type of terms on their contract, I don't understand what leverage they have.
There's no leverage, bro. You've seen it time and time again. Like I said, if you ever seen a play, if you ever seen Annie, you can go across the world in every state. You could go see Annie, and it's still going to be either a black little girl or a white little girl singing "Tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow." It don't matter, bro. They just gonna they're just gonna keep it moving. They're gonna get people to play the same role, and they're gonna make the same money, and they're gonna be the same identity for each show, each play, each movie.
I mean, you even look at a TV show like The Fresh Prince when they replaced the mother. They don't care. The show is going to go on. They don't. If they don't
say-
hear the voice, it don't even.
As long as Will here, we rolling.
Exactly.
Right.
All right, before we get out of here, we got last 5 minutes. All right, we got hot takes. So, being the theme of our show is just overreaction or justified. I'm gonna give y'all 3, and then y'all just give me y'all brief takes on if it's overreaction or is it justified. So the first one I'm gonna go with Kendrick Lamar. They Not Like Us, greatest diss song of all time. Is that an overreaction or you think that's justified?
That's overreaction to me, just because it's current and it's recent. But
all right, so what's the best? What's your best diss song of all time? What you think the best hip hop diss song of all time?
I'm
And I'ma give y'all mine.
I don't know the name of it, but I'm gonna go be biased in the one where Jadakiss was beefing with Beanie Siegel.
All right, what about you, E?
Man, I'm gonna go Tupac Biggie. You
See
fat
ya.
motherfucker.
Yo, and look, and that's what I said. Yo, that's my favorite one, bro. That's gotta be the greatest diss song of all time. Just because it's no discrepancy of like, bro, as soon as the track come on, that's why, yo, bitch, you fat mother. Like, yo, come on, yo. It's no, that's crazy.
That's beef, bro. That's beef to me.
That's beef.
Like,
Yo, you ain't had no cut cards. Ain't no lyrical stuff. It'll just go straight for the jugular. Off the beat, then they drop like that.
oh my god. And we over
That's
here talking about
crazy.
some in A minor. We think that's like, oh shit, nigga. First off, fuck your click and the click. It's like, yo, you come on, you can't You come on. We.
I gotta go with the Tupac one over. Even though I gotta go with the Tupac one over Biggie, just because he just came out off the rip. He ain't had no cut cards in that song.
Oh, also,
But
honorable mention is also Jadakiss versus 50 Cent was a good one too.
oh, I actually like that. Click that D clank. You remember that song?
Yeah.
All right, overreaction or justified? Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. What you got to say?
No, I was just thinking about Prince and Michael Jackson. 'Cause that shit was funny. Because somebody was like, Prince tried to run Michael Jackson over with a car.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? You saw Michael Jackson say, "He's a meanie.
He's a meanie. He tried to hit me in my mouth with a car.
He's a meanie." What would you say?
All right, I said overreaction or justified. The Will Smith Chris Rock situation. Was he overreacted or that was justified?
Was Will Smith justified?
Yeah, or was he overreacting?
Oh, he definitely overreacted.
Yeah, he overreacted. Now he rapping and shit.
Yeah, he overreacted.
He overreacted. Yeah. I agree with that.
She got that man.
Especially
in the
the same.
bag. That's what happened.
Yeah.
All right. This statement is all right. So, what the world want to know. So it's 3:00 in the morning. You gotta stop somewhere. You got Wawa, Sheetz, Royal Farm, 7-Eleven. Is it an overreaction saying Wawa is the best late night snack, late night stop in the middle of a road trip place of all time? I'm not all time. I ain't gonna say that. Just over is Wawa pretty much is Wawa's the best.
That's a fact.
Convenient gas.
That's a fact.
You said it's a fact?
It's a fact.
Overreaction or justified? All right. What should give me your take?
That's justified. I mean, you gotta think. What you going to get from Rofo? Some fucking oily ass chicken and some fries. I go to Wawa, I get me a cold cut, get me a quesadilla, get me a pizza, get me a hamburger, get me a sub, get me a chicken bowl.
You agree, E? Because he went to school out in West Virginia. They Sheets people.
Yeah.
The Sheets.
What you think, E?
Overreaction. Sheets came through for me too many times for me to not say it's not justified or not overreaction, because Sheets was holding it down.
That's crazy.
In Shepherdtown, West Virginia.
That's crazy. That's just like me saying, yeah, Lucky 7. Lucky 7 is.
That ain't the same.
They held me
Even
down.
though
Hell no.
They had some good ass breakfast sandwiches though. I ain't gonna lie.
So it ain't the same. I mean, they held you down a couple times. Yeah. But overall.
No, but I'm talking about gas. Look, I'm talking about gas, convenience, and food wise. Sheets over what?
Shout out to Sheets, yo.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I might have to go with Wawa, bro. Cause they always got clean bathroom. They got a nice little bathroom for real. Can't beat the gas for real. And then you get the hoagies.
I mean, for me, it's a couple things. First of all, they got all the convenience stores always got like the same drinks and stuff and all like that. So I think we can probably
that stuff don't matter. Yeah.
Like a drawer there. But then Wawa normally got the Tesla chargers. So that's one. And then
free air for your tire.
Free air for your tire if you need it.
Royal Farms got that too.
The food selection, they got the food selection. They got milkshakes. They got energy drinks. They got.
Sheets do too.
Yeah, but it ain't the same, man.
Yeah, y'all don't got no.
I ain't gonna lie. I might have to. I might. This might be crazy because we from Maryland, but I might have to put Royal Farms last just because when you go in there, you smell like that shit.
I mean, you can't put. I'm not gonna put Royal Farms at the 7.
If we talking Wawa, Sheets, 7-Eleven, and Royal Farms, I'm gonna have to go Royal Farms last.
No, 7.
And that home fries be hitting.
7-Eleven last because
7-Eleven
is bougie now. They like more expensive.
And what you gonna eat? A goddamn taquito?
And the twisty.
No, they be having the glizzies.
Yeah, you like the glizzies.
Yeah, you do.
No
wonder you put them.
And they got the slushies.
Their pizza be fucked up too, and they still.
But Wawa always got the free ice. Wawa got the free ice, so I think Wawa number one for me. I ain't gonna stunt.
Everybody ice ain't free.
Nah,
Oof.
I don't even think 7-Eleven got ice or roll your phones. They don't.
What make that ice free? You
Yep.
went in there ask for ice?
No, you could just go in there and get the cup. You could go in there and get a cup of ice. Yeah, because I'll be traveling. I'll be having my bottle of water in the car. You know, yeah, go grab your bottle, grab some ice.
Can't do that anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, you can't just go in there and grab an ice and walk out. Self-serve
First of all, you like grab an ice. What you mean, like from the drink machine or out the refrigerator?
for the drink machine. Grab a large cup, put the ice in there, put the cap on there, and walk out.
I don't know why you wouldn't be able to do that anywhere, but okay.
Oh yeah, like
Well, first of all, 7-Eleven don't have no ice machine.
you're living in the
Yeah,
1950s. You said you just can't do this in here.
Get back in here with that ice, boy.
I'm sorry. I put the ice back.
What you gonna put the ice back in the machine? I don't understand. Like, just get the ice and bounce.
No, they charge because if you go to 7-Eleven, they're gonna charge you $1 for the Slurpee cup.
No, it's that koofy hat you be wearing, bro. They think you stealing. They think you stealing.
They don't like them Africans, boy. They hate you, fucking foreigner.
No, y'all crazy. But look, that concludes this episode of From the Crib podcast. Like, follow, subscribe, and drop your favorite convenient store to stop at. Get your gas, get your air, get your nice little snack.
If you say anything,
Drop
other
that
than
in the
Wawa,
comments.
You wrong. Anything other than Wawa, y'all wrong.
No, Sheik's like that though, because they got French fries. Now, Wawa pizza trash. I ain't gonna stunt. But thank you for joining us, fam. See you next episode.
Peace.